It's Street Talk, and we are on location today at George Washington Carver High School. It is the Stay Ready Foundation Seminar. It is leadership, development, relationships, finances, all of this is going to be poured out here today. We want to thank Coach Tim Walton for allowing us to come in and highlight it for you. Also, DJ Jones with Sports Vision, he is the MC. So we're going to go in and you're going to see a lot of great people here in our community. Also, want to say we got some great speakers that will be on the platform today. So stay tuned, we're going to take you inside, we're going to see what's happening here. It's Street Talk. You're watching it here on cable TV.
Today was the absolute worst day ever. And don't try to convince me that there's something good in every day. Because when you take a closer look, this world is a pretty evil place. Even if some goodness does shine through once in a while, satisfaction and happiness don't last. And it's not true that it's all in the mind and heart, because true happiness can be obtained only if one's surroundings are good. It's not true that good exists. I'm sure you can agree with that. The reality creates my attitude. It's all beyond my control. And you'll never in a million years hear me say that today was a good day.
All right, now, you heard how that sound, right? Now I'm gonna read it from the bottom up. Today was a good day. And you will never in a million years hear me say that it's all beyond my control. My attitude creates the reality. I'm sure you can agree that it's not true that good exists only in one's surroundings, only if one's surroundings are good. True happiness can be obtained because it's all in the mind and the heart. And it's not true that satisfaction and happiness don't last. Some goodness does shine through once in a while, even if this world is a pretty evil place. Because when you take a closer look, there's something good in every day, and don't even try to convince me that today was the absolute worst day of my life. All right? Top to bottom, bottom to top. All about how you look at things. All right? Those are the things we try to create for us, the mindset with the players, my kids, and that whole deal.
And now we're talking to Coach Tim Walton, who is the founder of this wonderful foundation. Stay ready. I like that. Stay ready.
You got to stay ready for life. Life happens to all of us.
This is wonderful. Well, I know you're about to get ready to go to lunch. We're breaking. But I want to tell you, I have gotten a lifetime of knowledge just within 2 hours.
Well, thank you. That was the whole point of it, is to try to provide valuable content to the audience on professional growth and development in your life. You know, talking about mindset, work ethic, overcoming obstacles, and financial literacy. And then we have, even after the break, we're going to talk about the value of relationships with Andre Kennebrew. And then we're going to have life discussions about stress and how to maintain success, the things that we deal with on daily life. And we just want to try to create the dialogue at it. So we're glad that it's able to provide helpful information for you.
This is wonderful. Great turnout and everything. Let us know how long you have been having this.
This is the third annual year of having this event, and it started, like I said, with reaching young boys. That's where it started, because I saw the disconnect with them from the college and NFL level on behavior, attitude, finances, and things that way, and how they treat people. So I wanted to make sure I tried to educate and bridge the gap.
Wow.
And try to reach them. And then it started, and it just expanded and grew from there.
Oh, wow, you are doing that. Not only, you are a coach, let everyone know that how you're part of your journey. You started out, you went here as well.
I went to Carver, and then I ended up going to Ohio State University. Played there for John Cooper, and then after that, I got into coaching. That's where I got my first job at Bowling Green State University under Gary Blackney, the guy that recruited me in high school, the story I was telling about. And then I went on there to the University of Memphis, to Syracuse, to LSU with Nick Saban when we won the national championship, then to Miami with Coach Larry Coker, and then into the NFL with Detroit Lions and St. Louis Rams as a defensive coordinator, New York Giants, and now with Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wow.
So I've been well traveled.
So proud of you.
Yeah.
And you're instilling the importance of strong leadership, because today is a leadership seminar.
Yes, it's about trying to lead yourself. You know, you got to start with leading yourself, and if you can lead yourself, you can lead others. You know, so that's what the premise of the foundation is about: decision making and trying to do the right thing in life, and then others can follow.
And that's one of the greatest nuggets I'm taking away: the power. And I'm sure those that are watching, the power of our choices.
The powers of our choices. You are actually at the position that you are in your life based on the decisions and choices you made in your life up to this point. You know what I mean? So I tell people, if you're not really happy with where you're at in your life, you got to look at the decisions you make and probably make different and better choices to elevate you to where you want to be.
Wow. I'm so proud of you. You're not only leading properly for other men, but you're leaving a legacy as well.
Thank you. That's the whole point. We want to leave a legacy and give back to the people that's right here in the community, because there's people that I grew up with, the kids are in high school now, and people that's here in the community that you want to touch and say, you can have dialogue and conversation with guys that grew up right here. I said it right in this same building. That a lot of those people did in the same community with a lot of the same people in the room, so we can have dialogue and share my story. Yeah. And hopefully my story can be beneficial to someone that's looking to inspire in their life.
Awesome. This is Stay Ready Foundation right here at Carver High School. You're watching it here on cable TV.
I signed for 5 years, 67. It was definitely life-changing. I was able to get my parents a new home, able to take care of my daughter. Now my fiance, like I said, we're all together. We live out there in Roswell, Georgia. And the next year I ended up making my first Pro Bowl, my first All-Pro. And then last year we went through adversity. But I just wanted to kind of backtrack on everything. The reason why I tell you the story of my beliefs. Like I said, my dad basically coached me the whole time, and I've had some best friends who went to prison, some that's passed away, some who were considered better than me, who messed up their opportunity, and I always look back and reflect on that could have been me. There were certain situations I could have been there. I forgot who was just talking up here. He said one thing that I believe: you really have to change your environment. If you don't change your environment, you're always most likely going to go down the same path as everybody else, and that's how I feel. Another big thing for me that I always instill in my daughter constantly is just integrity, character. Like, I wake up, when she wakes up, the first thing I do when I'm taking her to summer camp, like today, I ask her, like, what's integrity? She's 4 years old, but she knows it's to do the right thing when nobody's looking. I've always instilled that, and that's one thing I try to do. Another big thing when it comes to mindset: don't make it about you. That's the biggest thing I had to learn at an early age. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in God, and one of the things is, what is my purpose? Sometimes it might be hard to find your purpose, but I believe my purpose is just to motivate everybody to serve. One thing I do, like I watch film, Coach Walton tell you I always ask questions. And it's not really because of me, it's for the younger guys. And I go home, I watch film. I'm not only watching film for me, I'm watching film for the other players. I want to learn where are they messing up at, because just like me, somebody else is going through things and they don't have time to focus, so I'm always out there going the extra mile to make sure that they're at their best. And once I had that mindset, things started going for me better relationship-wise, family-wise, career-wise. And every morning I always get up early, like 6, 7 in the morning. I meditate, I always reflect, and I'm just always thankful, because I could have been, like I said, one of my friends who were in prison. That's one of the biggest things, if y'all don't take anything away from this, is just always be grateful. Always be thankful for not only you being alive, but the people who are in your corner who made the choice to always stay there. Not just because they're family, but they really want the best for you. And just always pray, have faith. Know that you always gonna feel like you have something to prove, but you have nothing to prove to nobody. That's how I feel. There's only one person that can judge me, and that's God. And God put me here for a reason, and I'm very thankful. So that's pretty much my story. Once again, Coach Walton, thank you.
And now we're talking to another guest speaker, Andre Kennebert.
Yes, Andre Kennebert.
Thank you so much for your time, because I know you're going to be next coming up on the stage. Help everyone to know what are you going to be sharing today?
I'm going to be sharing about growing strategic relationships. In the business world, church world, whatever world you're in, building strong relationships is the key to your success. How far you go or don't go is determined by how well you do relationships. And so I'm going to talk about that a little bit.
It's funny you're talking about relationships. You are part of Chick-fil-A.
Yes, I'm part of Chick-fil-A and blessed to work with a great family called the Cathy family. Truett Cathy started Chick-fil-A, and they are the masters of doing relationship. And I'll just share some of Truett's secrets today in my talk.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what is your role with the local Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, I work at Atlanta for the Chick-fil-A Support Center, so I actually serve as a senior program lead. And what I basically do is we have a leadership development program, and we work with young men and women who want to be Chick-fil-A franchisees across the country. And so I travel and help us open restaurants and help us coach and develop young people who want to be franchise owners.
I love the fact that you are sharing it with young people, because I think that is a strong vehicle for them, and especially if they get it young.
Yeah, I think you're right on. I think one of the things that we've got to help our children with is kind of getting out of their phones and starting to look up and be strategic about the relationship. The very person that can help them is standing before them and they're looking at the phone. And so we want them to be intentional. We want them to see the potential in others so that the others can see the potential in them.
Yes.
And if you don't have those relationships, it's really hard to get things done. When you get into the world that they'll be coming into, everything is done by relationships. And very little is technology driven at the point where you're talking about exceeding and being able to do things beyond yourself.
Well, I will say Chick-fil-A, one of the best customer service restaurants I know.
Yeah, we focus on that. We want to be known for that. We want to focus more than just being great at service. We want to be people's friend. We want to be people's family. We want people to feel like the experience they had is more than just going out to eat, but it's going and sitting down in their own living room, dining room, or wherever, and sitting down and being with family.
Absolutely.
So,
well, thank you for sharing with us. We're
Thank you.
excited to hear you coming up next.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. I really am. This is like coming home for me.
And you went to Carver as well.
Carver, 1978,
Wow.
graduate, and just so proud to be back here today.
Welcome
so
home.
Thank you. I'm glad to be home.
Absolutely. We're
Thank
here
you.
at Carver High School in Columbus. You're watching it here on cable TV.
Formal education will make a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. All right? There's some things that we learn that you're going to learn outside of school that will help change your life. So we try to share some of those techniques and things, and I learned some stuff right in the community. All right? Some stuff I learned in my foundation actually started with my dad. All right? So I use him as an example of how it started for me, but those are some of the things we go by. All right? 10 things that school won't teach you. So I always teach my kids outside of, because my kids go to school, get an education. I got to teach them the things that they may or may not learn while they're in school. Because after school, they have to deal with real life. All right? And here's some of the things I always talk about. How to negotiate things. Well, how do you negotiate? How do you have conversation about things, the market system? How do you manage and market yourself? All right? How money works. How taxes work. You know, taxes work different in different states. And different jobs. In the NFL, you get taxed on each state you play in. Each state. Each state that you work in. When you play in California on Sunday, you get California tax. See, that's what people don't know. When you play in Seattle on next Sunday, you get Seattle tax for that day. That's a work day in Seattle. See, that's what people don't know. So taxes are different, obviously in the income bracket. So there's a lot of different things that work. So you have to learn those things, all right? How to lead, how to start a business, how to think for yourself, all right? You have to learn how to think for yourself. A lot of people are so influenced in society now with social media that they're influenced by a lot of things. So they're hard, because when you're not, what's the first thing, AJ, I'm gonna use your example of this as we're going through it. What's the first thing I said about it's hard to lead when you stand up front? Because when you stand up front and lead, you're gonna have to take some bullets. You gotta take some bullets, because you're gonna have to separate yourself from people. You're gonna have to do some things that are not popular. Like I tell my kids, I'm willing to do that. I take those bullets. because I'm not really interested in what people think of me. How you feel about me is your How you feel about me is your issue. So I have to go on what I do right. That's a prime example. That's why he's up here. He's one of the leaders. He's not affected by what people think or say. And you have to have that to make, how to make millions. How do you make money? Usually I tell the guys in the room, when we talk about football, how many guys want to win the Super Bowl this year? You know, probably 32 teams raise their hand. Well, if you ask people in the room, how many people want to hit a multi-million-dollar contract? You know, every one of them raise their hand in the room. I'm going to do the same thing in here. How many people in the room would like to one day, hopefully, you aspire to be a millionaire? Raise your hand if you would like to have it. All right, about everybody. All right? Well, what you going to do to separate yourself from making that happen? That's the same thing. That's the real life talk. What you going to do to separate yourself down? And Robert talked about it. You're going to have to make some decisions and some choices that do things differently if you want that to happen. Or guess what? You keep doing the same thing you've been doing. Same thing going to keep happening. You have to make a change. So those are the things that they talk about how to process issues. How to process issues in life, all right? How to marry and who to marry. You're not going to learn that in school. You're going to learn that on your third, fourth time, or that's what you're going to learn that on. You're going to learn that on. That's real life. So now, it's funny that we talk about those decisions because I talk to my kids about that stuff. It's funny because I learned through study, 25 years old is when you really hit your maturity level of decision making. Age 25. When the maturity level is really tough. So you know what I do in my household? I'm going to help curb the decision making. His girlfriend, I don't really like her like that. I'm going to help you. Because you're not really making it, you're not making it on a maturity level. So I'm going to help him, I'm going to help my daughter, I'm going to help all of them with it. To guide them in the right way with it. All right? Now, the millionaire mindset. All right? You have to think like the wealthy before you ever get it. Whatever you aspire to be. Whatever you aspire to do, but they have a different mindset. You have to think like it. All right? All right? Pay yourself first. Anybody ever heard that where that came from? Anybody read Rich Dad Poor Dad? All right? Two people that helped inspire me early. Dave Ramsey. You ever heard Dave Ramsey? Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? What's Dave Ramsey's talk? The Money Makeover. That's correct. I want to do things today that others won't, so I can live tomorrow like the others can't. That's his message. It's simple. I'm going to do today what others won't, so I can live tomorrow like others can't. Pay yourself first.
And now we're talking to Coach Randy Douglas with Point University. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here, to be with a lot of coaches and to learn a little bit from someone that's at the highest level of their profession.
Yes. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for your service as coaches, because I've seen behind the scene, but I'm really beginning to see it even more. Coaches are such an instrument in the success of our athletes.
Yes, it's a daily chore that we have to stay on top of things, to make sure that we're providing a good atmosphere and just to have what the athletes need, and what they need now and what they needed when I was playing are kind of two different things. That they need more encouragement, they need more self-esteem. And it's up to us to kind of provide those atmospheres for them.
And you coach what?
Women's soccer.
Women's soccer. Okay. So what is some of your greatest takeaway?
From today, I think just some reminders about mindset, and how that, we do things by observing. We do things a lot of times by, the experiences that we've had, and making sure that every day is intentional.
That's good.
Yeah, that every day, and we've heard this before, but to come into this environment and hear it from someone else, it's kind of been through the NFL and the highest level of college football, and bringing up other folks that have done the same type of things, and understanding that we may be coaching different sports, different athletes, and that type of thing, but we run into the same things.
Same thing.
Yes.
Same cause, same purpose,
Right.
same goal.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much.
No problem.
And we appreciate you, and Point University also. You all are doing a lot of great things in West Point.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All right. You're watching it here on cable TV.
That was a relationship. The Johnson family, Wanda and Janice are sitting back there, they lived around the street, and we spent a lot of time at their house, and again, another long-term relationship. Recently, and I'll talk about my career a little bit, but I joined the Point University College Trustee Board about 3 years ago. You can about know where Point University is? West Point, Georgia. My Point University people, stand up. Stand up, Point University. It's okay, I'm gonna recognize you. Yeah. These are coaches. Now, so stand back up. Stand back up, because I want you to stand up for a reason. We got coaches in here, right? Right? Well, we got the golf coach, we got the soccer coach. What other coach do we have here? We got the athletic director. We need to send some of your kids over there to Point University. That's what I'm trying to say. And over 90% of the students at Point University receive some kind of financial aid, okay? So Point University coaches are here. You got a soccer player, golf player, athletic director, baseball's here, softball's here, track's here. Walton University, about 30 miles from over here. We need you to send some of your students over there. That's another connection. You can sit down now. So I'm going to back into this relationship a little bit and tell you how I became a member of the board there. Andrew Cathy, who is Truett Cathy's grandson, his oldest grandson, is the one that introduced me to Point. And so, again, relationships. So you meet one person, they introduce you to another person, and they introduce you to another person. And so you should have wings. You should have your school, you should have your family, you should have your church. Every time you meet somebody, you should be trying to extend your relationship base. Okay? Every time. It's so key. So I told you that Coach Davis helped me get to Davidson. When I was at Davidson and I was graduating, one of my best friends had got his job, and he said, I have an interview with Kroger, but I've already accepted my job. Now he said, you go in my place. And I went in his place. And that was my first job. Relationship. After 5 years of working at Kroger, I wanted to change. And guess what I did? I called some people at Davidson. They worked for First Union National Bank in Charlotte, North Carolina. You know how long it took me to get an interview? I had an interview the next week. And I had a job in 30 days. So I left my banking career. I was vice president, regional manager, 15-year career, decided to go in ministry, went to seminary. This connection is kind of interesting because in 2006, after serving, I was thinking I wanted to go back into the workplace. Tony Evans, who's a pastor in Dallas, was coming to the Chick-fil-A office to speak and help Harvard Bible College raise money to move their campus from downtown out to Cascade. Well, guess what? My pastor went to Harvard Bible College, and the president of Harvard Bible Colleges was the first cousin of my college roommate. Y'all follow this relationship stuff? So I go down to Chick-fil-A to hear Tony Evans speak, and guess who's there? My old boss from First Union. And she said, hey, I think there's a job here for you. And so I've been at Chick-fil-A for almost 30 years. And by the way, I forgot to ask you this. Were the sandwiches good? Yeah. Sandwiches good? So I'll say this now. If you want to say thank you to me for the sandwiches, just about when you think I'm getting bored in my talk, just remember that you're full and where the sandwich came from. Okay? Y'all with me? So I'm just again talking about relationships. So I want to tell you how the best relationship masters have done it. This is a high level. You won't be able to do it at this level, but you need to understand what the level is. because I'm always trying to grow this. It's so interesting because Tim was talking about his kids and all the things he's teaching his kids. And I'm teaching my kids all the things he taught. And so I've been teaching them about these relationships. So my daughter, she has 3 jobs. She has one job as GE, she works in HR. Then she works at a guy for Chick-fil-A who she used to work with. She got that through a relationship. And then she works for the Atlanta Braves, with Atlanta Braves on town, and she guards the elevator, which leads to where the players' families go. He texted me just last night. Here's what she said to me. Dad, I just talked to Brian Jordan. Y'all know who Brian Jordan is, Atlanta Braves? He said, I told him that you and him have to meet. He said, give him a day, and he'd love to sit down with you. Now, I've never met Brian Jordan, but this is my 25-year-old daughter understanding the importance of putting 2 people together. And here's what she said, which is so amazing. It could be of mutual benefit to both of you. And I was telling somebody earlier when I was interviewing, and this is for you kids, please hear me on this and hear my heart and don't get mad at me. While you're down here doing this on your phone, the person you need to meet is standing right in front of you. Right in front of you. You're typing and you're sending notes and you're laughing and joking, and the person you need to meet is right in front of you. Okay? Get your head up. Get on the swivel. Okay? Think about the people that in your dreams and your vision and things you want to do, and you got to figure out how to meet these people. But when you meet them, and I'll talk about this later, it's not always about what they can do for you. It's about what you can do for them.
I have caught up with 2 gentlemen that are legends here in the Columbus Tri-City area. First of all, Coach Walton,
Yes.
which is Tim Walton, the founder of Stay Ready. You're his father.
Yes, I am.
I just know you are super proud of your son.
Yes, I'm very proud of Tim, the things he has done in the past and the present. I'm really proud of him.
Wow.
Yeah.
You remember him being the little boy, playing all the different sports, and now look at him. He's passing on everything that he learned and pouring it into other young males and young athletes.
Yeah, well, when I first noticed Tim when he was playing for me, and all he used to do is stay in his room drawing up plays, and I had to run him. I said, Tim, you're going to go crazy, boy. I was sitting in there drawing plays up, and he got so good, he started bringing me plays to run.
So you coach your son at some point?
Yeah, I coached my son for 2 years in middle school.
Wow.
And he started drawing plays up for me.
Wow.
And behold, I used some of them.
And tell us about Coach Davis. I have heard so many things about him, but you know the beginning.
Right, Wallace. Well, first off, everyone needs to know Wallace. When I was in the 10th grade, Wallace helped train me. He was at Lincoln University. He started me off and helped me out through college, to high school, and I went on to college. I learned a lot from Wallace. You talk about a legend. There he is right there.
Wow.
Super good.
Coach Davis, Wallace Davis, how does it feel to be able to be in this moment and your former students from so many years ago still remember everything from detail to detail, all the way down to the Sunday dinners?
Well, you know, as people say, it take a village, and I want to emphasize that village because it take a good village.
Yes.
You know, some people mistake that living in a village you can get around the wrong kind of people, but Felix, to start with, who's his father, who became a coach, played at the school, was one of the captains of the team his last year, wasn't big, and if I had to quote something about him, I say, you don't weigh him, you'll play him.
Wow.
And not only did that carry over from him, it carried over to his son. Don't weigh him, play him. And as I can go back into time and try to analyze just what Tim did, Tim was probably following his father, but when he got to me, he had a lot of talent, and I started playing him early. And as we were talking, he and his wife used to wonder why I tried to ease Tim in on some plays, and as a result, I was trying to prepare him for the future, and he gravitated real well, you know. He started as a 10th grader, and he wasn't big, but he was real knowledgeable of the game. And he just knew what to call playing a position like quarterback to take pressure off the coach. He could call plays that I was getting ready to call, but he was already using them, already calling the plays. And I just can't say enough about how he has developed. You know, you take a, you know, I'm gonna use a analogous in this. You take a snake. If he's a rattlesnake, he bites you. He could be big, he could be small, but a small rattlesnake could do as much damage to you as a grown one. But I found Tim to be an outstanding athlete. Coming from his father to me, he started young, and he turned out to be one of the best athletes that I've had an opportunity to work with.
Well, I salute you because you recognized something and you encouraged it, and you stayed the course with him. You didn't let him go.
Well, the thing that I was always taught, because, see, my mother died when I was 1, and I was raised by a father, but my father had tough love all the way. But what I do remember about Tim is that he was determined, he was smart, he could associate with people. I could take Tim as a player and send him out with my best players. And for some reason, as small as he was, he took control over the biggest and the toughest players over our team, and they did what he asked them to do, not so much of what I asked. He was a leader from the beginning with me as a player.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to get ready to go back inside, but I wanted to at least let the community see these wonderful men, Coach Davis and Coach Walton. We salute you, and we appreciate your service. You all are trailblazers. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Well, as a person, I just thank you all for being able to let some of this be exposed and let people know that outstanding people got to have outstanding leaders. And if a player is going to be something, he got to follow the right footstep. And there's no shortcut to the top. That's the big thing.
You heard it from champions right here in your local community. You're watching it here on cable TV.
I tore my right ACL. When I tore my right ACL, they went in, they found out that I tore my meniscus as well. So I was out the rest of that season. I was supposed to be playing varsity as a sophomore, out for the whole season. Junior year, came back, had a great season, started, got my first offer from Army, from Army Military Academy. My senior year, I came, had a great year. 2 games before the state championship, the number one receiver at our school. He at Ohio State now, my best friend, out for the season. He tore his ACL in the summer, so he's out for the whole season. So I'm the number one receiver. I'm going into the year. I'm top 5 receiver in the whole state of in the whole state of Missouri. Top 5 receiver. I got at this point going into my senior year, I picked up an offer from Kent State as well. So I got 2 offers. I'm going into my senior year. I'm trying to pick up big offers. I have nothing. Those schools that I was trying to get bigger offers. So 2 games before state, throw me a pass across the middle. Got hit. Stayed on my feet. When I stayed on my feet, I felt another pop in my left leg. So I kept running, ended up scoring on the play, but I came out for the rest of the series, and the game was sold out, so I had a lot of adrenaline in me and everything. Ended up finishing the game, so I'm thinking nothing wrong, I'm good, cool, I'm straight, I'm ready to go back. But when I went to practice Monday, I realized, I didn't feel right. I was icing all weekend, but I didn't feel the same. So I went and got an MRI. MRI called me, doctor called me Monday, and he said, "You got time to talk?" I said, "Yes, sir, what's going on?" He said, "You tore your other ACL in your left leg." So at this point, I'm like, I never expected this, because I'm like, shoot, I'm trying to, like they were saying earlier, I'm trying to follow my dad's footsteps. My dream is to go to Ohio State. I'm trying to play football, because I know I can, and at this point, I'm like, I done took my team all the way here, and I can't even play in the state championship. And they said, as well as you have a torn ACL and you broke your fibula in your left leg. So I'm like, at this point, before I'm doing that, I picked up 2 more offers. I had offer from Navy, and I got an offer from Tennessee State. Well, they say, Tyler, what are you gonna do? I'm thinking, I got a call from, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking about just committing, I don't know what else I'm gonna do. I got a call from Ohio about 3 weeks before about a month before signing day, offering me a scholarship on the phone. So I was like, okay, Ohio. I went and visited, really liked the school. When it came to rehab, a lot of people, where I want to thank my dad, because he always talked to me, and I used to not understand it, because my dad used to always, I'm like, damn, excuse my language, but I'm like, my dad always on my ass, why? And it really comes down to it, because it's like, okay, well, Tyler tore both his ACLs, is he gonna come back the same? I low-key question myself, am I gonna come back the same, or am I gonna let these 2 knee injuries define who I am? Am I gonna feel bad for myself and not be who I know I can be? So now you can ask him, you right here, you can ask my dad, never, not once did he have to question me about, did you do your rehab today? I knew what I wanted, I know I wanted to come back stronger. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, you can feel bad, a lot of people want you to feel bad, oh, he tore both of his ACLs, he needed to quit, you know what I'm saying, you feel bad for him, nah. I'm like, I know what I can be, even though I'm not going to Ohio State, I know where I'm at, I know I'm gonna go to Ohio University, I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm gonna come back stronger. Never had to question me rehab, came back stronger. Now I'm at Ohio University. Just finished spring ball, redshirted my first year. Just finished spring ball as the #1 receiver in the spring. Freshman, had 1,000 yards in the spring, 8 touchdowns. Going in the fall, looking to start. Appreciate y'all time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's show. It has been phenomenal. As you can see, it has just come to a close. We want to thank Stay Ready Foundation. Tim Walton, you are phenomenal. Thank you for how you came back to give back to the community from which you grew up in. This has been amazing, empowering, educational, and we had city council members here from Columbus, and it was just a wonderful dialogue at the end. Again, remember to come out and support it. This has been phenomenal. I cannot stress it enough. Also, we want to thank Sports Vision for their assistance as well, because they've been working behind the scene as well, and all of the wonderful speakers. Mr. Kennebrew, thank you again as well. So you've been watching this great, wonderful seminar here on Street Talk, and you've seen it here on cable TV.